Okay, this is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Frank Smith, post-fight here at Jacobs Ryder in North London. Frank, entertaining night with Johnny Fisher, Felix Cash, headlined of course by Danny Jacobs, John Ryder. We'll start with that. Very, very close fight, but John Ryder comes away victorious. Just give us your thoughts straight after John Ryder comes away with a victory.
Yeah, look, fair play to John Ryder and Danny Jacobs as well. You know, it was a slow start, but you know, ended up being an entertaining fight and a good win for John Ryder, and some huge opportunities from here, some huge fights to go on to. I thought it was very close, really close fight, yeah, it was. You saw that with the scorecards. You know, the American judge scored it to John Ryder, and the English judge scored it to Danny Jacobs. So, I think John started slowly, but came into the fight later and made it very entertaining. And Danny, I've just seen there, he seemed quite tired in the fight, but good win for John Ryder and some big nights to move on to from here.
Yeah, definitely some big nights for John in the future. As for Danny, he started really well, but the way John got into it and was probably landing bigger shots than Danny was earlier in the fight. I think he was more clinical towards the end. Maybe that's what swayed the judges in the end, or the two.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like I say, it was a close fight, and I think people, could have gone either way. But I'm sure we'll. After seeing Danny in there now, I think you'll see him back again. Seeing where he's at. But John's got to move on from here, and he deserves a big opportunity. He's waited a long time, ever since that Callum Smith fight back in 2019 now. He's waited a long time, so now is his chance to move on from here and get those big nights.
What could that opportunity be for John?
I think it's obviously a lot of the belts. Canelo's obviously holding all the belts currently. Let's see how that plays out over the next year. He's obviously looking at various options for his next steps. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And then, but he's in a great position now. It was a WBA eliminator. David Morrell's obviously the regular champion. But so let's see how things play out. But a big fight has got to be made for John Ryder next.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, super middleweight division where Canelo's maybe or maybe not going to vacate those belts, but obviously for Tony Sims it's been a great night having Felix Cash out as well. That was an entertaining fight. Felix got into it after the knockdowns in the last round and the second as well. The first knockdown though was a real strong knockdown from Madiev, but recovered well. But yeah, talk to us about that Felix Cash fight, including those knockdowns.
Yeah, look, I think fair play to Felix, because we all knew it was going to be a tough fight, and he stepped straight back in there for a proper fight. Where he could have, a lot of fighters would just come back with a nice, easy warm-up. We all knew it was going to be a tough night for him, but he showed a lot of heart in there tonight. Another one, very, very close fight, that could have been closer on the scorecards. But fair play to Felix Cash, because he went out there and he showed, like I say, showed a lot of heart and a big win for him, and some big opportunities from here for him. And like I say, we all knew Madiev would be a tough test. And he showed, he's going to be in some entertaining fights as well. So, good win for him, and let's see what's next.
Yeah, Eddie was pushing that as like the fight that is going to be tough, and he said if you're a real boxing fan, you should know who Madiev is. Having said that, were you still surprised that he knocked Felix Cash down twice?
No, I mean, look, he showed his class, didn't he? Felix been out for a long time, as I say. He's a bit had some personal issues which kept him out of the ring. And like I say, to go straight back in there in that type of fight, you have to give him a lot of respect, because a lot of fighters wouldn't have done that. So, I think it went the way we should. I didn't think Felix was going to get put down, but it went the way. It was always going to be a tough fight. But like I say, Felix showed a lot of heart in there to get through that and get the win. How
does Felix move on? What does he do next?
Some big fights out there for him. He's obviously been calling out Eubank Jr., but I think he needs after the period out, he needs another similar fight in my mind, and then can step on from there. He's still young, and he's still got some big opportunities ahead of him. I think he's had a very tough year, and he's got I think now he's going to get back in the gym. Now he's been through that camp. I think it's going to be much easier for him moving forward.
And just very quickly on Johnny Fisher, tough fight for him. He was challenged, but we always talk about the crowd was there as well, and it was a good learning fight, good learning curve.
Yeah, look, I think Johnny's under a lot of pressure, isn't he? You know, because he's sort of been thrown into the limelight because he sells so many tickets. You know, if Johnny Fisher was just a heavyweight selling a couple of hundred tickets, you know, he wouldn't be chief support, and so it's a lot of pressure for him to put up with. And I think, you know, he has to learn to fight through that. It's a bit like, you know, like Campbell Hatton, for example, who gets built up, you know, and has to go out on this big stage. It's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? You know, where all eyes are on him. And he's still got a lot of learning to do. He's only had 5 fights, and you know we've got to build him the right way. And I think the aim is to keep him busy. You know, 6-7 fights this year, and let's get him through. You know, he had a little cut tonight, so we'll see how that heals up, and then get a plan to get him back out as soon as possible.
Brilliant. Now I know you're obviously travelling always with Matchroom, and you got some shows abroad, of course. But the next show in the UK is on a Sunday. Why is that? Holy show that is.
Yeah, it was obviously Taylor Catterall is on the Saturday night. And you know we thought it made sense to go on Sunday. Ticket sales have been really good actually, and we wanted to try something different as well. You know, DAZN are up for looking at how things work, and yeah, we wanted to try that on a Sunday. So it's going to be an early main event, probably about 9 p.m. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, let's see how the numbers work. We did Sundays a couple of years ago when Tony Bellew fought at Goodison Park. So yeah, you know, it's a good test to see how things go.
Yeah, not trying to sound like I'm kissing Matchroom's arse, but like you always kind of try and do new things. Is this kind of potentially, obviously, if this goes well, something that you could look at doing again very soon?
Yeah, look, we could try it again. You know, like I say, if the numbers work, then you know definitely something we'll look at doing again. And yeah, you know, we've done Friday nights, we've done Saturday nights. So we can do Sundays as well. We can do any night of the week. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
And as for Coley on that night, 27th of March on the Sunday, of course, how do you see that fight?
Yeah, it's actually a tough fight against Cislak. You know, not a lot of people, I think, because Cislak's not hugely known, he doesn't get much credit. But I think it's going to be a real tough fight for him, and it's hard because you know we want to get a Coley the major, massive fights, but you know the division's obviously sort of busy with mandatory fights. You know, we saw Makabu fought Machunu recently. Breedis has had his mandatory, which has held him up. But you know, our aim is to get some big fights on for Lawrence. You've obviously got the Galumarin fight as well, which is a mandatory fight. And then after that, the aim is to unify. But yeah, it's a tough test. You know, but he's looking great in the gym, and I think he's going to be tough to beat Lawrence Okolie by anyone in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, I agree with that. How likely is it that we see him at heavyweight this year if he doesn't get those big fights and doesn't get the chance to unify?
Yeah, I think if he doesn't get the big, like our aim is to, as I say, make the unifications as soon as we can. I think if he doesn't get those opportunities, then heavyweight's definitely something, you know, he'll be looking at. So let's see how things play out. February 27th, though, he's got to be fully focused on, then try and get a unification done for the summer.
And then lastly, obviously, on the Canelo stuff, obviously nothing's confirmed yet, but kind of what's the time frame and how soon do you think you'll have an idea of Canelo's next steps?
Yeah, look, we're working hard in the background to try and make that happen. You know, it's no secret that we want to work with Canelo Alvarez again. So hopefully we can get that deal over the line. Everyone obviously wants to work with Canelo. You know, understandably, he's the biggest star in world boxing. But let's see how things play out. We'll, like I say, push him very hard, and hopefully, you know, we have some news soon.
Thanks a lot, Frank. Thank you. Cheers.